Yo, what's up YouTube? Today we're talking about GNOME OS 51 A Coruña. The beta version was announced like 24 hours ago and we do have a lot to talk about. GNOME OS 51 is really shaping to be one of the best desktop environments out there for Linux. I know the philosophy is a little bit different, or actually polar opposite to what KDE Plasma is, but we are all working towards a common goal, and that is to make Linux the best platform for gaming, for content creation, and just normal desktop usage on a day-to-day basis. So without wasting further time, let's dive right in. Okay, welcome to GNOME OS. So today we're talking about a lot of the things that make GNOME OS better. We have many things to talk about GNOME OS 51. Let's just begin with the tour. So this is customary, for any Linux YouTube channel, not really cliche. So let's begin the tour. The key features in GNOME OS 51. So, always you get an overview when you press the Windows key. So this is the overview. You double tap it and then you get the app drawer, which is good. And then going over to the powerful search, you hit the super key. Again, you have type to search. You can type anything like terminal. Man, I can't speak. I didn't really make a video for too long. I lost my touch, let's say. So yeah, search, pretty good feature of GNOME 51. All of GNOME really. Stay organized with workspaces. Again, you have multiple workspaces over here. So these are your workspaces. They get added dynamically. By default, it's dynamic. You can change it to static, whatever. And if you're on a laptop, you have swipe up, swipe down to change the overviews. And you can also move around through the workspaces by swiping left to right. And you can do all that good stuff if you have a trackpad attached to your laptop, which I think it will. Okay, that's it for the basic introduction. So this is GNOME OS 51. We have a pill-shaped dynamic workspace switcher, viewer, whatever you want to call it. Over to the left, we have a beautiful panel giving you the notifications, giving you the date and time, the calendar, world clocks, weather, etc., etc. You can clear the notifications, by the way. And over to the right, you have app indicators. So this is the control center for GNOME. I have my Wi-Fi connected. You have Bluetooth. The performance mode by default, it's set to balanced. I make it to performance, because it's on my old laptop and I don't want it to lag during the making of a video. You have night light, dark mode, do not disturb, airplane mode, all that good stuff. Now, before we dive in to talk about what's new this time around, let's just go through the wallpapers, because I see the wallpaper is new. I'm always interested in the wallpapers, and by the time I'm done with what's new and I go over to the wallpapers, the retention really drops. So, and also wallpapers is kind of my favorite part of the video, so here I am. Okay, we have default style and dark mode, which is pretty good, customary for GNOME. Different accent colors: blue, teal, green, ochre, orange, red, etc., etc. And we do have plenty of wallpapers. I see most of them are old, but I do believe there are some which I haven't seen before. Like this wallpaper is the one that's new. Again, this looks pretty good. The dark version of it should look amazing as well. Let's go over to the dark version. And I absolutely love that slow burn transition to the dark wallpaper, and I think it looks pretty good. Okay, let's go back, and we do have a couple of new wallpapers as well, at least some of the ones that I haven't seen before. Maybe this one. I think this looks pretty good as well. Ooh, that's pretty good for abstract art. Not bad. And then this is kind of like Mac OS, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, this is, I think the MacBook Pros, they used to ship with this wallpaper for, I think, macOS Sonoma, Sequa. I don't really remember the names, but I have seen this wallpaper. Not the biggest fan, but it does look cool. And you have a little bit of a difference in the color of the wallpaper if you change it. All of the wallpapers do have a difference when you switch them over to light mode. And as you can see, it does look pretty good. And it's very subtle the way it changes the colors. So that's pretty good. This looks pretty good as well. You have a little bit of art, emoticons, emojis, whatever you want to call them. Looks pretty good. For the video, maybe I'm going to stick to this one, man. I really don't know. This looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad. I gotta say to you, man, this doesn't look bad. And of course, you have a light theme as well. A light theme wallpaper, so let's check that out. Oh, this is a little bit too tacky for my style. I think I'm going to keep the video in dark mode, and this is going to be the wallpaper. Or maybe I could just keep the original GNOME wallpaper, but we're not going to waste too much time on this like we're not going to do that. Okay, moving on. So yeah, that was about the wallpapers, and you know what, let's just dive straight into what's new this time around, because I don't want to waste too much time. I'm done with the wallpapers. I'm happy. Now the rest of the video is a service for you guys. Okay, GNOME 51 beta is finally around the corner. Like I said, you're going to get this in the next Ubuntu 26.10 and Fedora Workstation 45, and it's now available for beta testing. This is an article that I found, Ubuntu handbook.org, so it's a pretty good article if you want to go ahead and read it for yourself. They do have other articles as well. I think this article did a really good job. I didn't have too much time to research for this video because I was sick, and I am still sick, but I think this article does an amazing job of just laying down everything, right? So we're going to go through this, and there are a couple of things to talk about, a lot of things to talk about actually. Okay, so we do have GNOME Shell or Mutter bumped up to version 51 for GNOME release, for the Akarunia release, and now they have the EXT background effect v1, which is a Wayland protocol, and it's now in both the Mutter compositor and in GTK4. Now this gives apps a very standard way to apply a background blur to specific regions of app windows, kind of making it look like liquid glass on macOS, or maybe even frosted glass or arrow effect on Windows, the kind of translucent effect that you get nowadays with Windows 11. And now for laptops, it added support changing the display while typing timeout value. So now it allows you to configure the timeout value for how long a touchpad stays disabled after typing by using the G settings schema key. It also now allows a mouse button to trigger scrolling rather than requiring a physical scroll wheel. And it supports configuring the focus ring, which is the visual outline or highlight showing which UI element currently has keyword focus, visibility timeout. So as you can see over here, you can configure the values using the dconf editor, so disable while typing. This is the timeout values, and you can see minimum is 100 milliseconds, maximum is 5,000 milliseconds, the default is 500. You can use the default value, or you can put a custom value, I guess, within this range of values. Now, the beta version for GNOME 51 also has added an initial support for reduced motion setting. Now, what is this? It's actually an accessibility feature that minimizes potentially distracting or uncomfortable visual movement in animations. It as well introduces a new fingerprint management interface, a setting to disable focus timeout, and icons in the default apps drop-down option. Okay, so as you can see, we do have accessibility over here. We can open accessibility as well on our computer. This is running GNOME as well. So if we go to settings, this is settings, and we can go down to accessibility. This is what we have inside accessibility. You can either have it shown always on the top bar, which you could do, and inside seeing, you have a ton of features. So screen reader, high contrast, on-off shapes, reduced motion. This is the one that we were talking about. So this is the reduced motion. And apart from this, you do have other features: text size, cursor size, sound keys. So moving on, we are going to go over to the next section. So now we go to the image library. Now, Glycin, which is the image loading backend, it now provides APIs to read and modify the DPI or the pixel density metadata of PNG, JPEG, and TIFF files, both internally and through libglycin. So it also recognizes and handles XMP metadata embedded inside GIF, TIFF, and WebP images, and the image RS image processing library also now supports loading and decoding images in the Radiance HDR format. So a lot of improvements to the image library as well. And apart from that, you also have support for conversion of pixel densities between different units, which allows apps to opt out of its automatic ICC profile to sRGB conversion. So you don't really want to do that. You can also preserve the image's original color space, which is really important. Every time I open up GIMP, it asks me whether you want to keep the original color space or you want to transform it to sRGB. So that's the reference point for you. And now it also provides you the option to disable sandboxing for testing. You also have the default image viewer application, which can now show a human readable description of the image or video's color profile. So that is excellent. This is Loote, by the way, if you didn't know. This is kind of a new-ish application to display images. It's been around for some time. Now, we also have changes in files. So GNOME Files, aka Nautilus, finally provides an out-of-the-box new document context menu option. So you open Nautilus, or you just simply type files and let it open up. Ooh, where is files? Did files just, okay, so there is files, and you can go into documents, and let's just say you right click, and now you can create a new document. Right now, I don't really have anything installed, so it just says empty text file. Maybe if you had other apps like LibreOffice Writer and the whole LibreOffice suite or whatever, maybe you could get those apps as well. So now experienced users can also create or save other types of files in users templates folder. So it will allow you to quickly create new documents in docx, Python, and other formats that the user prefers. Excellent. And now, in addition to all of that, locations from the other apps now open in Nautilus in new tabs by default, and the sidebar width limit has been adjusted to be a little bit more adaptive, so that's always a good thing to hear. Now, when it comes to the other improvements, we have the Orca screen reader, which now supports user extensions or plugins, and the text displayed or spoken by an extension can now be translated into different languages. It now lets users configure how the synthesized speech changes its vocal expression or emphasis, and the sleep mode can now be enabled automatically for specific applications. You also have the GNOME file previewer, aka sushi, which is one of my favorite foods ever. And I'm not saying this because I love Japan, which I do. Okay, sushi has been ported over to GTK4 plus libit Vita with modern interface, which is pretty good. It now supports double-click maximizing an image preview, context menu in HTML preview, XHTML, and more MIME type support for LibreOffice Viewer, as well as other overhauled document plugin APIs. So this is pretty good with the, I guess the image should have loaded in by now, but I guess, you guys can see it from here as well. This is the sushi file previewer, and it's been overhauled and it looks pretty good. Did it open up? It didn't open up. Wow, that's a shame. Okay, you do have other changes, including SVG-based cursor implementation that features better support for high DPI displays and easier cursor theming. And apart from this, you also have new dbus properties, add support for web login and unified auth mechanism, G-settings option to control the screen orientation lock, initial support for systemd, homed accounts in the initial setup, and automatically unmount certain virtual file system locations when they're no longer needed, right? And that's pretty good. Now, compared to version 50, there's as well a few big changes in the last GNOME 51 alpha. So they did remove the code for legacy NVIDIA driver support, and you also have the option to turn off the local greeter sessions, option to disable a touchpad when a mouse is plugged in, and support changing touchpad scroll speed via the deconfiguration key. Okay, if you want to download GNOME OS Beta, I'm going to provide the link just below the like button, like usual. And I think this was a pretty good look, and I don't know why my computer was getting hung up so much, but GNOME OS overall, I mean, it's one of my favorites. A lot of features this time around. You really are going to love this. This is just, I mean, GNOME is fantastic. A lot of people, they love KDE, but if you're looking to something, if you're looking to use something which has a completely different philosophy, then use GNOME. I mean, it does have its quirks, it does have edge cases, but let me tell you something. In Linux land, whether it is KDE or whether it is GNOME, things are getting better every day, and you're not going to regret it. Whether you use GNOME, you use KDE, just use whatever you want to, right? If it doesn't stick, you can always switch. That's the beauty. And so with that, we can come to the end of the video. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I wanted to make a video after a really long time. Couldn't really pass up the opportunity to make a video about GNOME OS 51 beta version. Again, this is the beta version. The real one's going to drop, not the real one. I mean, the final one's going to drop maybe next month or something. So yeah, stick around to find out. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.